concept comes from a thing called, I learned it actually from Jack LaLanne, a friend of mine from Los Angeles who was into health stuff, which is the phrase use it or lose it. He didn't make that phrase up. Believe me, it came from, World War II that was in use. It was in use before that in the 20s, the roaring 20s, use it or lose it. But the concept is very simple. It's a very simple concept. Use it or lose it means that if you don't consistently, that's the word you want to use there, consistently exercise something, whatever that might be, physical, mental, emotional, whatever it might be, if you don't consistently exercise it well and thoroughly, it will atrophy. It will atrophy. It will wither away. In the biblical sense of Ruth, who said, "Whither thou goest, there also shall I wither." Withering. It's withering. It's atrophy. It's withering. It's drying up and withering away. And that is what, in essence, if you don't speak a language for a long time, you kind of lose the rhythm of the language. You lose the flavor of the language, and you lose some words that you would normally not have to search for, but now you've been away from it for a while. I can't come up with the word I want. You see, and that is because those neurons haven't been fired lately. That path has it's got ivy on it. It's hard to find the path anymore. There were bricks, but now it's not brick lined anymore. It's all ivied up. Who knows where the hell the path is? Oh, let's scratch a little bit on the floor, on the ground. Wait, there's a little bit of brick. Now here's a little more, and you have to expose it little at a time. That's a painful process that you don't want to have to put yourself through. So I've heard a little bit here. So use it or lose it means that if you don't exercise something, it will go away. If you were born, let's say, in France, and then you spoke French, let's say, for 20 years. You speak French every single day, and you speak hardly any other language but French. Once in a while English, once in a while Spanish, once in a while German. Very, very seldom. You speak French all day long. You grow up in it. You grow up in the culture. The culture is all related to the language. Language and culture are intertwined, interrelated, like space and time. Like matter and energy. Like gravity on that other thing. Like a horse and carriage. Love and marriage. Praise and disparage. Are we going too far? All right. So, we're kind of heading towards silliness there. So, if you grew up in France, now you spoke French for 20 years, and you never even given a thought to speaking any of the languages. Suddenly, bam, there you are in America, in the United States, and you speak English. And you speak English for 30 years, 35 years. Now, you get on the phone and you talk to your family back in France, and you almost have to search for words now and again. You can't remember because it's not in everyday use. So those neurons don't fire up fast. You have to search for them. It's kind of mildewed over, just grown over. Overgrown. That's what I mean to say. Ivy League. That's not good. Ivy Halls. You know what I'm saying? Those things those creepers take a while to get there. And when they do, it's because things are kind of stodgy and sort of solid. You want that solidity if you're an institution. You want to show yourself as solid, but also growing, not just overgrown. Like there's some pentacles I could name. Certain queens, kings, of pentacles. You know what I'm talking about. Come on. Come on, you know what I'm talking about. Those guys, you know. The Queen of Pentacles. Oh, well. If you look at the card, depends on which deck you're using, you'll notice a stultification there. It's like stagflation. It's stagnant. That's the word you want to use there. Stagnant, like the Sargasso Sea. It's stagnant, and yet choppy and rough. How can that be? It's not a still sea, and yet it's stagnant. How can that happen? Same way that any female of any species can get stagnant. What? All right. Let's see. Where are we going? Oh, yes. Okay. So now you have, at least I hope you have the concept in mind, that use it or lose it idea. Now, with that in mind, let's examine the life of the spirit, which you have one opportunity, you have one option for, living the life of the spirit, which we'll put up here, and living the life of the body, or the organic, which we'll put down here. Now, those two worlds are very different. When you're in the world of the spirit, you behave differently. You are a different individual than if you're in the world of the body, in the world of the organic. All right, does that sets up the basis for this. So when you exercise in the world of the body, ooh ah ooh ah ooh ah ooh ah, you do exercises, boom ba do da da. So everything you do in the world of the body exercises the body-mind. Body-mind, by the way, is the same as space-time. Actually, time-space. No, space-time. Body-mind, because the body houses the mind, and space houses time. So they have the same relationship relative to each other, somewhat, but it's kind of a stretched relationship. It's not real because you don't have a direct relationship, only what would be a parametric correlation. So you've got all these things that you do every day to feed the body. How many things a day do you do to feed the spirit, and how often do you do this? So what I want you to do, I recommend, there's a new book on the market by Barbara Haynes. I recommend you get that book because you can find out how to act in spirit on a daily basis through your daily life, your daily things, your daily chores. It shows you how to convert your daily chores into work, into actual works for the spirit. So you actually have spirit work constantly, no matter what you're doing. If you're washing the rings out of a bathtub, there's something that corresponds to that, that turns that into a spirit work, into a spirit world work. So look, if you're doing work in the spirit world, you're exercising the spirit. If you're doing your work in the body world, you're exercising the body. Does that make any sense at all? And if it does, then wouldn't you like to work more in the spirit world than the body world? I would. Would you like to do that? Say so then. Say something. Don't just sit there. Actually say something. Well, yeah, I'd like to do that. Do you know the words? The words are simple. Yeah, I'd like to. Or yes, I'd like to do that. And yes. Just the word yes or yeah or a nod would be good. Nod of the head is good to indicate. A smile would help. If you can't nod, a smile is good. Blinking. If you can't smile, try blinking. If not that, then maybe just try a positive thought perhaps might pass through that field of electrical mayhem. So, yes, would you like to take a single tiny step, teeny tiny step in spirit? Would you like to do that? If you still would not like to do that, if you just are not ready to do that, if you're able to do this, raise your hand. Now, if you can't raise your hand, again, nod or blink. Blink once for yes, twice for no, something like that, you know. Just to indicate to yourself what it is you're doing here at this very moment, what you're actually up to at this very second. All right. Take a small step in essence. How would you do that? Well, first of all, it shouldn't look too weird to pass the muster in. By the way, passing mustard is not correct. It's passing the muster, M-U-S-T-E-R. A muster is a collection of cavalry units or cavalry people in a circle called a muster. Originally, way back, many hundreds of years, when cavalry was first forming on horses. So there is the life of the spirit. That's one kind of world that you can live in. And you can live in it all day long, every day, all day long. Or there's the world of the body, and you can obsess yourself in that world quite well. It's easy to do, and there's all that reinforcement all around you to help you to do that. Either world will keep you quite busy. One will keep you perhaps occupied with things that are more pleasurable. You might find more pleasurable, but if you find the things of the spirit more pleasurable, then the pleasures of the body will not attract you so much. Although they are automatic, every body has automatic attractions, automatic because that's how nature wants it. Doesn't want you having to think about mating. Every and any opportunity must be taken. Or as the hookers say, don't miss a trick. That's not actually where it started from. It started from I believe it was from Bridge. Yeah, don't miss a trick. It was started in the 1910s, 1920s. You heard don't miss a trick. He don't miss a trick. Yeah. Well, apparently in whist also, I think whist is pretty much, I have not played whist in hundreds of years. I can't remember how it was played even anymore. If anybody knows, please don't remind me. Thank you. I don't want to know. It was terrible. A terrible game, boring game. I didn't have to play bridge this time through. I have had to play bridge from time to time, but not here. Yes, one of my relatives was, my grandfather was a bridge expert. He wrote the bridge column for the New York Post, I believe it was. The Friday night column, if you want to research that. His name was Herman Stein. And he was known as a collector of Parisian art of the 1900s. My grandmother had was offered a bunch of Picasso ceramics. My mother had gotten them from Picasso. Just I don't know, probably looking back at it, between 100 and 150 ceramics that she had in her studio of his. And then she had everybody else in there. Hans Arp was a friend of hers as well, so she had some Arps in there and all kinds of stuff. And she was known as a she was a fairly famous modernist jeweler who had trained with Art Smith and Ed Wiener, and both acknowledged her as a very fine designer, which she was. She was a hell of a good designer. Not a fine artist. She was a good designer and a good ceramist, and also very, very good at copper enameling and extraordinarily good at cloisonne. She was known as a master of cloisonne, using silver squiggles and circles. She made her own stuff, of course. And her things notably are in at least 2, possibly 3 museums. We haven't tracked down if there was 2 museums that Claremont has her work also. So where we take this is you have 2 options. So if you're looking for ways to exercise the essence, ways to exercise the being rather than exercise the body mind. So where does it leave you? Where do you go with that? Now, Claude is an expert in this area, having written many books on this subject of what do you do while you're waiting to die, while you're waiting for the body to pass? What can you do to enhance your spirit, your essence? What can you do to bring yourself closer to the work, into the work? What can you do to earn the merit needed for the Bodhisattva path? What can you do? So I'll be right back while you start. We have, by the way, some folks arriving today.